So it looks like Beyonce is sick and tired of Jaguar Wright speaking on her. And it looks like she's considering taking legal action and suing Jaguar. Honestly, it's not that surprising that Beyonce would file a lawsuit against Jaguar, because Jaguar has been spilling a lot of tea on Beyonce and her husband for years, and not just the regular kind. I'm talking about the spicy kind of tea. Well, given that Beyonce is currently under a lot of scrutiny for her ties to Diddy, and that Jaguar recently made some pretty bold claims of Beyonce unaliving people, the streets are now speculating that Beyonce could be trying to shut Jaguar up to protect herself. Girl, y'all better be sat for this, because Beyonce is finally fighting back, and she's fighting hard. Okay, so many people think that Jaguar only started talking about Jay-Z and Beyonce after Diddy's fall from grace. But she's been trying to expose them for years, and a lot of people dismissed her as crazy. But given everything that's come to light, fans are starting to pay more attention to her and wonder if she's been right all along. Well, Jaguar has been on their necks ever since then, and it doesn't look like that's coming to an end anytime soon. Y'all remember when Cassie exposed Diddy and hit him with that lawsuit last year? Well, Jaguar could not let that tea spill without adding her own mess into the mix. She straight up threw shade at Jay-Z, claiming he was in on Diddy's dirty business and that he was even worse than Diddy.
Sean Carter is worse.
Uh-oh. Oh, man.
He's smarter. He's patient. He's not sloppy. Just been lining up people he calls friends and stepping to the side while they get hit by the guillotine for 30 years.
Now, considering Jaguar's very serious beef with them, it's not that shocking. I mean, in one interview, she said Jay-Z allegedly tried to unalive her back when she was singing backup for him, coming at her with a whole box cutter.
Sean Carter is just as bad as the diddler. And I know that for a fact. I got the scars to prove it.
So there's been so many people on the internet trying to figure out where you are. They're watching you. They're doing all types of stuff trying to figure you out.
You want to know what a box cutter feels like going into your skin and ripping you? I can tell you how it feels. Y'all ain't seen that Cassie. That's nothing.
So are you trying to say like Jay-Z put hands on you?
I'm saying Sean Carter remembers everything he did to me, and he's got it on tape. Just like Diddy.
Yeah, Jaguar and the Carters are definitely not on good terms, and she loves spilling their secrets every chance she gets. In her latest interview with Piers Morgan, Jaguar claimed that Jay-Z was allegedly the mastermind behind the whole Me Too movement. Why? Well, according to her, he supposedly needed to take down R. Kelly to cover up his own connection to R. Kelly's crimes. She's saying that Jay-Z bankrolled the movement to distance himself and hide any evidence to their past dealings.
Well, because the Me Too movement was a ruse. It was a setup. It was a scam. I'm saying that now, publicly. Dream Hampton spearheaded the Surviving R. Kelly campaign, which fueled the Me Too campaign. And that was all funded by Sean Carter to make sure that Robert Kelly went to jail, get his lick back. Why is nobody understanding that Dream Hampton was being financed and ran by Sean Carter? They were able to go and get all of these witnesses because he was there with Robert Kelly. How does Jay-Z sit down with Gayle King and she not ask him one question about the intersection between him and Aaliyah and Robert Kelly? This is insane that people keep refusing to see what's right there. If the Me Too movement were real, why aren't they speaking now? They've also been very quiet in this time of the diddler's downfall.
Jaguar,
Guess they on vacation.
But that's not all. She also had something to say about Aaliyah's death, claiming that she was allegedly unalived by Beyonce.
I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
what do you think happened with Kim
Keeping people against their will, putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane, unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about, Piers.
Jaguar definitely didn't hold back with that claim. She said what she said. Like I mentioned, the rumors about Aaliyah's death being foul play have been floating around for years. Fans have always connected the dots back to the Carters, saying it all happened because of Jay-Z's alleged obsession with Aaliyah and how it reportedly made Beyonce jealous. Before Jay-Z became fixated on Aaliyah, she was married to his close friend R. Kelly. Yeah, the same R. Kelly that Jaguar accused Jay-Z of setting up to bring down. And let's not forget the shadiest part of all of this. R. Kelly basically forced Aaliyah into that marriage when she was only 15 and he was 27. Her parents had to step in and get the whole thing annulled, but still, it was very creepy that Jay-Z knew all about it and didn't say nothing, and watched his bestie marry her at that age, only for him to turn around and develop his own obsession? Now, for some context, in the early 2000s, Aaliyah was the it girl in Hollywood. She was not just one of the top female stars, she was easily the biggest, hands down. And with all that fame, of course she had a lot of admirers. Everybody was trying to shoot their shot, including Jay-Z and Dame Dash. The two were already having some tension, but when they got to competing for Aaliyah's attention, baby, that's when things got even messier, and it led to Jay-Z betraying Dame in the worst way possible. He sold out the record label right from under him. Aaliyah definitely knew she was that girl, and she was not about to let nobody forget it. Sis was out here enjoying the attention, playing the field, hanging out with different guys, but never really locking it in with any of them. And according to sources, it wasn't even about getting physical. She just loved the attention and all the gifts that came with it. Jay-Z and Dame Dash were both in that mix trying to win her over, all while knowing the other was doing the exact same thing. It was like this silent competition between the two of them, each of them trying to outdo each other for Aaliyah's affection.
I kind of eased up, but then we ran into each other. It's a long story.
So you and Jay was both getting at Aaliyah. Obviously,
everybody was getting at Aaliyah, bro.
Right.
She was like, you know, she'll go to dinner with her. She wasn't going to just be smashing.
Two friends chasing the same girl? Yeah, that's always a disaster waiting to happen. I mean, we've seen this too many times, and it never ends well. So, of course, the jealousy kicked in quick, and Aaliyah was not making things easier. She was going on dates with both Jay and Dame, living her best life, while they was probably giving each other major side eye on the regular. I mean, it's no surprise that things went downhill very fast. And y'all know Jay-Z does not take his L's lightly, so the whole situation was already on shaky ground. But things hit the fan when Aaliyah finally decided to get with Dame. And the kicker? Dame didn't even tell Jay-Z outright, but Jay still found out because it all went down at a 4th of July party where they were all at. Awkward much?
So, you know, this is going to be hard for me because he was like, his friends were laughing at him.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
I might have a up question since we're talking about Aaliyah, and ignore me if it's too much. But do you have any opinion on the R. Kelly situation? Do you think he got railroaded, or he's where he belongs?
Dame even admitted that he knew Jay-Z was gonna make stuff difficult for him after that, cause Jay was super pissed. The tension was real.
Do you have any opinion on the R. Kelly situation? Do you think he got railroaded, or he's where he belongs?
Yeah, I think he's where he belongs.
Jaguar Wright, of course, added fuel to the fire by claiming that Aaliyah was the main reason for the fallout between Jay and Dame. According to her, Jay was just salty about losing Aaliyah to Dame, and it pretty much ruined their whole friendship. Honestly, it sounds like a classic case of jealousy gone wild.
I think everybody that knows Sean Carter knows that he will slump anyone in any relationship for $1. Look at how he did Dame. Like, I don't give a if you wanted to get away from your homie, if you wanted to get away from your partner. But to do it the way he did it, it's malicious. But maybe that was because he was the girl that didn't want you.
After the whole Aaliyah situation, Jay-Z moved on to Beyonce, but the streets were still convinced he had major feelings for Aaliyah. And it didn't really help that there was already major competition between Beyonce and Aaliyah at the time. Being caught up in that weird love triangle just made things that much messier. Then, when Aaliyah tragically passed away in that plane crash, Beyonce ended up with both the man and the status. The circumstances around Aaliyah's death are still shady, even today, because it was such an avoidable tragedy. She was in the Bahamas filming a music video, but the sketchy part was that the was originally planned for Florida. Everything was all set, and then out of nowhere, the director Hype Williams decided to move the whole thing to the Bahamas without even checking with Aaliyah first. Real suspicious, ain't it? The shoot itself went smoothly, and then they wrapped up early, but when it was time to head back to Florida, they got stuck. There was no transportation since they were ahead of schedule. Aaliyah reached out to her friend Lenny Kravitz, and he was ready to send his private jet to pick her up, but then Hype Williams stepped in, saying he had already arranged another flight. Now that replacement plane was a disaster from the jump. It was way too small for Aaliyah and her crew. It was overloaded with equipment. To make things even worse, reports later revealed that the pilot was under the influence. Multiple eyewitnesses claimed that Aaliyah had a really bad feeling about the whole situation and did not want to get on that plane. Allegedly, her team forced her to take a sedative and carried her on board while she was unconscious, which is what Jaguar Wright referred to in her Piers Morgan interview. Tragically, the plane crashed shortly after takeoff, Aaliyah and everyone on board. Now, what makes this even more suspicious is that over the years, insiders like Mary J. Blige have spoken out, hinting that there was way more to Aaliyah's death than what we were told. Some even suggest that she was sacrificed, adding more mystery to an already tragic situation.
I just know that was a murder. You know what I'm saying? That was a spiritual murder, whether people know it or not, because God don't kill people. You know what I'm saying? Whether people know it or not. And I could go deep, but a lot of people I would have to really bring proof, you know what I'm saying, for what I learned. And she just was cut down in the prime of her life. And it's so unfair.
Anyway, remember Jaguar's interview with Piers Morgan, where she accused Beyonce of allegedly unaliving Aaliyah? As soon as Jaguar dropped them bombshells, Beyonce's lawyer came through quick with that legal heat. They hit Piers Morgan with a lawsuit threat, and he folded faster than a house of cards, baby. He ain't waste no time giving them a public apology, and then completely distanced himself from Jaguar like he had never heard her name before.
Well, Jaguar Wright unexpectedly made several serious allegations about Jay-Z and Beyonce during that interview. As I said in the moment, they were not present to respond or defend themselves, but now they have. Their lawyers contacted us to say that those claims were totally false and have no basis in fact, and we've therefore complied with the legal request to cut them from the original interview. Editing interviews is not something we do lightly at a show called Uncensored, but like the proverbial cries of fire in a crowded theatre, there are legal limits on us too, and we apologize to Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Well, the streets are now saying that Jaguar is the next person to get sued by Beyonce, and that she was allegedly sending a subtle threat to Jaguar to keep her mouth shut or else. As usual, people have a whole lot to say about this. Like this person who said, Jay-Z and Beyonce wouldn't dare to sue Jaguar Wright because they'd be guaranteed to lose the case. Jay-Z and Beyonce's lawyer had the nerve to call Piers Morgan's show to get what Jaguar Wright had to say about them taken off the broadcast. But why haven't they called her to sue for libel or defamation? And if they sue Jaguar Wright, then there is an issue of discovery. It would not be smart of them to sue her for defamation in the middle of the Diddy stuff. The pictures in the Diddy case will hurt Jay-Z and Beyonce in the defamation case. But now I want to know your thoughts. Do y'all think Beyonce is really gonna sue, or is this all just smoke and mirrors? Y'all been knew what to do. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other very messy video.